Nice.
I have a saying that's the honest to God truth. I say, I can't stop because I have dreamed myself into a corner, meaning my dreams have come true. And with every dream, as I said, you've got to have something that's going to spin off from that. And you can't just leave them there. You can't just say, oh, my dream's come true and I'm walking out of here. No, you got to be responsible for that, to show you're grateful for that, and to show that you're not going to just leave that in the hands of other people. So I'm gonna be right there till I fall over dead.
There's no question 2021 has been a busy year for Dolly Parton. For starters, she won her 11th Grammy Award and released her first duet with Reba McEntire, Does He Love You? Dolly also celebrated her 75th birthday, announced a brand new book, which will be accompanied by a brand new album, and launched her first ever fragrance, Scent from Above.
Well, a lot of people say, well, why are you doing working so hard? You don't have to work as hard. I say, yes, I do. I always say that I have to work. Well, I love to work, first of all. I can't imagine what retiring would even mean for me. There's no way, because I love to work. It's energizing to me, and I've got something to sell, something to create, something to do. And with every dream that comes true, it kind of spawns something else that you need to do. And so once you get big enough in the business, you become a brand, as they say, and that's kind of then when you can sell a perfume. I've always wanted to have a perfume out, and now it's time.
Scent from Above was released this July, and just 2 weeks later, Dolly announced she was writing her first novel with best-selling author James Patterson. Their book, Run, Rose, Run, will be published in March of 2022, along with Dolly's new album of original songs inspired by their collaboration.
James came to me. I love James Patterson. I've read everything he's ever written. And I think he went to college in Nashville, at Vanderbilt. And so he knew the town, and I guess he'd always kind of wanted to write something about Nashville, but I know he'd done some other books with other people. So I got this call saying James Patterson wants to talk to you. I think he wants to write a book with you. And I thought, he does? And I thought, well, so I got with him and he told me what he had in mind. And I thought, I'm going to write the best way I can contribute is to write songs, or to write lyrics. And so on these characters, based on the characters that we had chosen and who they were. And so I started writing songs, and I'd start sending the lyrics to the song before he ever heard any of the music. So he would then expand the characters through my lyrics, and then he would add, write some of the lyrics actually, in the book. So it was really a wonderful way that we worked, and I just love him to death. We just became such instant friends. You know how sometimes you meet people and it's just like you've always known them?
This year also saw Dolly continue her ongoing commitment to giving back to the community through the Dollywood Foundation, which she created in 1988 to inspire children in her home county to achieve educational success.
If you are in a position to help, you should help. And it makes you feel better, it does a lot of good, and it makes you feel like you're giving back, because I've been very blessed in my life, and I've accomplished so many of my dreams, and so it makes my heart feel good to know that I can do something for somebody else. I love that feeling. I'm kind of addicted to the feeling of giving and knowing that I'm doing something good for someone else.
Back in 1995, the Dollywood Foundation launched a new initiative called the Imagination Library, which gives free books to children from birth through age 5. And today, the program gifts nearly 2 million books every month.
Well, I've often told the story of how the Imagination Library got started. It was because of my own dad. My dad could not read and write, and that was like such an embarrassing thing to him, kind of a crippling thing, but my daddy was so smart, and I've often said that he was the smartest person I've ever known in spite of that fact, because he had to to really sharpen all his other skills. But it started because of my dad, and I just got the idea, seeing how that had crippled him, and trying to think about what kinds of things I wanted to do for my legacy. And so I thought, I'm going to start a little program called the Imagination Library. And we started it in my hometown, Sevierville, Tennessee. Well, at that time, we had a governor by the name of Phil Bredesen. Well, he got a hold of the idea and thought it was a wonderful program, so we went statewide. And so it just kept growing and growing and growing until it went on into Canada, and now we're kind of all over, scattered around the world. But my dad was so proud of me, and he got such a kick out of hearing the kids call me the book lady. Daddy passed away a few years ago, but he got to live long enough to see it really come to be something special. And if there's such a thing as heaven, I know my daddy's there, and I feel like he's looking down saying, "You go, girl." And so I will always be proud of it from that standpoint, but happy that I can actually get all those books in the hands of that many children.
Well, the world has a lot of people to thank for the progress on a COVID-19 vaccine. One of those people is Dolly Parton.
Dolly's philanthropy also helped out anyone who happened to receive the Moderna vaccine this year. In 2020, she donated $1 million to the Vanderbilt University Medical Center to help fund their search for a cure for the coronavirus, and later learned some of that money went to the development of the Moderna vaccine.
When the pandemic hit, I knew this was going to be a bad thing. I didn't know how bad, but I knew it was not a good thing. And so I donated some money for the research. Now, I've gotten far more credit than I deserve, I'm sure. But I'm just happy to have played a small part in that.
One of your donations helped out Moderna, and now Moderna is knocking on the door of a vaccine.
I only heard that this morning on my way over here, and I thought, well, praise the Lord.
Well, it was on the news before I heard about the fact that my money had, helped kind of fund that. And everybody was calling, congratulating me, and I was saying, well, what for what? And then I heard, and then they called me from Vanderbilt, was saying that, well, you're getting a lot of credit for, some of the good work you've done. And then, of course, my fans and all the people out there, they took it and ran with it and calling it Dolly Juice and all sorts of things. I'm getting the Dolly vaccine, I'm getting the Dolly Juice and all that. Like I say, I got more credit than I deserved, but I was so happy to be part of it. And the fact that I'm a celebrity, I think it helped, too, that I could talk more about it, and it kind of brought more awareness to the vaccine and to the COVID pandemic. So any way I can help, I'm happy to try to do it. Think you got it?
I got it.
Okay. At that time, I know that when I got my first shot, I had said, don't be a chicken squawk, get on out and get your shot, encouraging people to get it. I thought people were just waiting in line, everybody, to get it once it was out there. But later I realized that there were a lot of people that, that didn't want to take it for whatever their reasons were. So I didn't pursue that, telling people to do this and do that, because I'm not one to tell people what to do. I completely understand every side of everything. I try to stay neutral, but I'm happy that I was part of that, and I'm happy that I got vaccinated, and I just hope and pray that this whole thing will be over and that we'll see a better time coming in the future.
While Dolly will always do her best to remain neutral, she understands the vax debate of 2021 is yet another example of how divided and scared our country has become.
Oh, they are scared, and they have a right to be scared. This world is just going to hell in a handbasket as quick as it can, and people don't even seem to care. They just want to fight about it. They just want to have an opinion on it rather than trying to do something about it. And I really worry about that. I really and truly do. It grieves me. And when things are bad, I pray. And when things get worse, I pray harder. I just want things to be good. But it's like within my own family, within my own fan base, there's that great divide. There's half of them that are Democrats, Republicans, or independents, or whatever. But I choose not to stir up any more trouble. We got enough already. And I know if whatever I say, I'm like E.F. Hutton, people are going to listen, and they're going to make more of it than maybe what I meant. So I have to be careful what I say. Of course, I have my opinion, but I'm not an opinionated person as a rule. I'm not a judgmental person. I believe we should be allowed to flow as people, as human beings. Of course, you're allowed your own beliefs and your own faith or whatever, but you don't have to use that like a weapon when it could be a tool.
Nice. Beautiful.
I have to honestly tell you, I was a little bit skeptical of accepting being put on the cover as one of the people of the year, because that's a lot of pressure. I do feel pressure when people put me on such a pedestal. I don't deserve all that. I am not all that. I make a joke saying I'm not all that. I'm not even all there. just joking. But I'd rather think of my life being on a pulpit and not the pedestal, just trying to be in a place to where I can try to, if I have a sermon or if I know something about something, to present that, but not to be put up to a place to where I don't belong, because I don't want them to worship me. I ask God every day to let Him shine through me, let people see in me what I want them to see in Him. I want to direct them on to something better. I want you to see something bigger and better and know something more, even if it's just, like I say, if you're not a person of faith, I want you to think, well, there is a better way to do this. I do have dreams, and I need to get my ass out there and do it. Dolly did it, and she told me it could be done. See, that's what I want them to see.
As Dolly's legions of loyal fans well know, earlier this year on January 19th, she celebrated her 75th birthday. And if 2021 was any indication, it looks like the living legend still has plenty of living left to do.
Well, I've learned that being 75 is not as bad as I thought it might be when you think about numbers. But I think I've been surprised at how excited I still am and how motivated I still am and how I didn't let the number slow me up any. But I think that I think I was just surprised at the number that I could actually be 75 years old. And I really feel very blessed. I really feel like I can look back with a lot of pride and a lot of dignity. It's been a hard time now and then, and I have paid my dues, but I really feel good about who I am and what I've accomplished. Of course, you'd like to stay young forever, but you can't. But you can stay young in thought, in spirit, and just kind of not dwell on the numbers and say, well, I'm old now. I may be, but I have a saying that I like to use is that I'm as old as yesterday, but I'm as new as tomorrow. So I've got lots of stuff, hopefully, to do.